But I also think she sees something very special about Jesus, whether or not she fully understood him to be the Messiah. Jesus's answer to her, your sins are forgiven, go in peace. I think Jesus knew something in her heart that she desperately wanted forgiveness and acceptance, to the point that she was willing to forsake and abandon what anyone else thought about her. Because what she does in this scene, not only is it awkward, but it's almost borderline scandalous, because it tells us, Luke makes sure that he tells us when in this story that she let down her hair and she wiped Jesus's feet with her hair. Now,
scandalous.
To us, yes, we don't get that, right?
No, but
it's kind of like this. Okay, so a couple years ago, my brother-in-law was going to get married. And so my sister-in-law and I, we went to this bridal shower for our future sister-in-law. And it was this beautiful scene, this beautiful home in old Pasadena, California, and all cloth tablecloths, antique fine china, very gorgeous shower. And my sister-in-law and we didn't know anyone there except for the bride-to-be. And so after it was over, my sister-in-law and I looked at each other and we're like, let's go in the kitchen and offer to help with the dishes. All of this china is going to have to be washed and dried by hand. So we go into the kitchen, and Aunt Barbra is in the kitchen. And Aunt Barbra is, she's over 6 feet tall. She is a very large, muscular, endowed woman. She has just this very physically imposing presence. And the minute my sister-in-law and I walk into the kitchen, she grabs 2 tea drying towels and she thrusts them in our face and she says, I'm going to wash, you're going to dry. So she is as commanding as she is imposing. So my sister-in-law and I, we take the towels. Now, you know me, but maybe your listeners don't. I'm not a very tall woman. I'm barely pushing 5 feet. And, I'm like just a hair above this woman's belly button. I mean, she's giant compared to me, right? And, and she's just this large woman, and she's clearly like, take charge, right? So we're
Aunt Barbra, Aunt Barbra, if you're listening, we love you, right? We love you.
We love you, Aunt Barbra. So Aunt Barbara's going to wash. I'm going to dry. My sister-in-law's going to dry. So she walks over then to this hook on the back of the door in the kitchen, and she begins to take off her blouse. And she comes back to the sink just in her bra only. Like we just met Aunt Barbara 5 minutes ago. And she starts washing the dishes standing there in her bra. And my sister-in-law and I are looking at each other. And then, as she's washing, this beautiful antique china platter, she then turns and bends over. So, her chest is like right eye level and sticks the platter in my face. Like, have you got it? Right. And my sister-in-law and I are so uncomfortable because it's like, we don't want to look, but we don't want to drop the dishes. And when is somebody going to come in the kitchen and tell Aunt Barbara to put her clothes on? Like, right. And so it's kind of like that, right? Like everybody watching is like, oh, this one, she's half dressed.
Right.
When's somebody going to tell her to put her clothes on? Like women did not show their hair in Jesus's day. The only person who would have saw a woman's hair would have been her husband. Like, this is so scandalous what she's doing. And yet Jesus just keeps going right on. And he doesn't say like, sister, you might want to put the scarf back on your head. Like, I appreciate what you're doing here, but this is a little scandalous. Like, you're kind of crossing the border here. Jesus doesn't say that. In fact, he does something utterly mind-blowing. He says, Simon, the Pharisee, do you see this woman? He commands Simon through his question to look at her in her scandalous state. What?
Yeah.
I mean, Simon is a man who measures out his spices, measures out his flecks of pepper to follow the law, right?
Right.
And yet Jesus is telling him to look at something scandalous. This is mind-blowing. I mean, the tension in this room, everybody watching would feel like they had to turn away because they can't look at this woman with her head uncovered, but yet this is so uncustomary. It's like such a train wreck happening before them. They can't stop looking, right? So it's like they don't want to look, but they have to look. That's the tension that Jesus is allowing to happen in this scene, that he escalates with his question to Simon. And why do you think Jesus creates this tension?
Well, I was just going to ask you that exact same question.